Welcome. Hello and welcome to today's live stream. I am David, your host, your tropical shirt wearing host. That is me. It is Wednesday, of course, October the 11th. Where we live, it is currently 62 degrees and a absolutely going to be beautiful day for today and tomorrow. And then we got some cold weather and storms coming in. So it's going to feel like fall and winter once again. So, very exciting day. It's Wednesday. It's live stream day. You can't ask for a better day. Remember, as always, this live stream is all about you guys. Not me, the good looking one in the tropical shirt, but you guys, the everyday average Joes of the world. That's what we're here for, is for you guys. It is exciting. I got a couple cool videos I'm going to share with you that kind of carries off from last week when James was kind enough to take us to Seafood City and we did some shopping. We got some things in. Lorelai opened them up and I made some videos. So we're going to share those with you here later on in the live stream. I need a drink. Ugh. Here. You guys want to drink this? It's called Pomegranate Blueberry V8 Energy Drink. I highly encourage you to drink it, okay? So everybody go out there and drink it. So, man, it's a crazy week in the news. You know, I'm sure you guys have been following what's going on. And I'll say this. What? It's supposed to rain later today? Sorry, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. That's Thursday. But in the news, if you haven't heard it over the weekend, Hamas attacked Israel. And here's what I'm going to say, because I really don't care about the politics of the dynamics. Here's what I actually think. I think people ought to get to this point in life where, look, if you're going to use your terrorists to attack our country, then in this case, for instance, Israel, I think what Israel ought to do is they ought to just obliviate the Gaza Strip. If I was them, I would buy every bomb in the world and I would just flatten the whole entire Gaza Strip, blow it all to hell. Then I'd go get some great big bulldozers and I would start shoving all the concrete and everything into the ocean and make a new fishing pier. And then everybody can go fishing off the Gaza Strip. I don't know. I have dropped the StreamYard link. If you haven't seen it, it's there. You're welcome to, and I'll drop it again, to come up and join us today. But there's a lot going on in that world, that part of the country. So kind of a scary situation for a lot of those folks. I personally just can't imagine living in that type of environment. So I just can't. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts about that. Any good ones anyway. I don't know. Let's have another sip of this stuff. The Yankee said he's in the house today. He said he's feeling tired. That means he probably fell asleep again like he did last week. He said that it hurts when he goes pee. Well, usually, Mr. Yank, that and by the way, my wife makes fun of you later. That's usually the indication that you stuck somewhere where it shouldn't have been stuck. So you might want to just think about those words. And as I said, well, it hurts me when you pee. So Dennis is in the house. Thank you. He says good day to Pack and Yank. I'm Pack. He's Yank. So I'm not for sure what's going on in the Philippines. I haven't kept up with any Philippine news. So hopefully everything's going well over there. We got some friends that are over there visiting. I hate being proven right. Sometimes it's hard to be humble when you're always right. We have some American friends who, a couple months ago when they planned their trip, They had planned to be there for like 7 weeks, and they were adamant that all they needed was no visa. They didn't have to go get an extension. They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do that. And I'm like, all right, you know more than me, but that's okay. So I encouraged them to Google it, to go to the Philippine government website and double check and say, now you can stay longer past the 30 days, but you got to go file an extension. If you don't want to do that, you run the small risk of the Philippine government going, okay, well, you didn't abide by our rules, so maybe we don't let you back in the country anymore. Or we just charge you some extra money because that's what we can do. God, I hate it when I'm right. No, I hate it when I'm right. So, guess who's going to pay extra money to get out of the country? And I don't mean the $20 or the $25 fee at the airports a lot of times that you got to pay the exit tax or the travel tax or whatever they call those on the airline tickets. I can't remember what the Philippines call that, but I paid it a few times. The last few times when we bought our tickets, it was included in our ticket price. So I don't mean that, but they're going to have to probably cough up another 30 or 40 bucks to get out of the country because they're going to overstay their visa. So, and the Philippines don't really care as long as you give them some money. But I will just continue to say it's hard to be humble when you're always right. How you guys like my new shirt? Lorelai got me this shirt. You guys are going to see the video later. This is one of those shirts from China, from that company Temu, who we did a little video on talking about how you got to worry about those apps. Those Temu apps is getting a lot of reports from all over the United States, Canada, also Australia, other countries about them stealing personal information off people's phones and computers. So the products seem to be fine. It's the app collecting personal data. And I think part of the problem right now is you can't app out of them collecting your personal data. So that's kind of weird. You can't opt out of the app not to collect your personal data. So if you download the app and use it, you need to delete the app once you're done using it. So, because it will continuously collect your data. A Yank in the Philippines says, yo, Adrian, what that? No, I did it, Adrian, yo. I watched Rocky a couple weeks ago. So, no, I'm, equipment lines from Rocky. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know about that one. But anyway, Yank's in the house. Thank you for being here. So my wife makes fun of you in one of the videos I'm going to show later, Mr. Yank, just so you know. Why are you feeling tired today? Is it because you put your willy in places you really shouldn't go, and that's why you're really, painful pee? Is that kind of what's happening there in the Philippines that you're not discussing with the general public? I don't know. So, but it's exciting. We're excited. We have nothing going on this weekend except for football. Oh my God, Mr. Yank. Partying all day. Oh, what should I do? All I can say is I'm glad you're there and not here. That's all we can say. Dennis, what can we say, right? He's farting all day. Because all that skunk beer you're drinking, all that Japanese or Norwegian or Chinese skunk beer you're drinking in the Philippines, because you're not drinking any of the good beer. You're drinking that old watered down skunk beer that's probably 5 years out of date because they don't put an expiration date on it. That's probably what's happening. That's probably what's happening. Well, I prefer not to smell it, no, and thank God I cannot. There is not smell-o-vision, thank God. So that's a good thing for all of us. But I do feel sorry for your family. Maybe they've all passed out and, or ran outside to go live with the dogs. So I don't know. But we got interesting packages in the mail this week from James out in California, who did our shopping at the Seafood City Marketplace. I think is what they're called. What are they called exactly? Seafood City Supermarket. The one he was at was 3573 Cal-Land Boulevard, South San Francisco, California. And his cashier was Cynthia V. Ooh. Now, I don't think that was the girl Ronald was flirting with in the Red Ribbon store. But let's see if it says who the girl was that Ronald was trying to flirt with. Her last name was Lorenzo L. So we're going to name her Lorne Lorenzo. So who was single, remember, at Red Ribbon? So, and Lorelai got her goodies in. I'm going to show you some videos of that a little bit later. So she's tickled to death. She thinks we're all the greatest people in the world because I told her that we did it collectively. That we, all of us here on this live stream last Wednesday, got together and helped James, our good friend from California, pick out those items at Seafood City and ship them back to us, which he did. I am extremely disappointed. Just thought I'd tell you guys all of this. I'm extremely disappointed. The Powerball was up over like $1.5 billion, and I did not win it. So I am, not happy about that. I'm very disappointed. I was looking forward to having so much money that I could buy and sell the Yank and treat him like Boner the dog. But now, as of today, I am still poor. So I think, Mr. Yank, what you're trying to say is I had a dog named Boner. Boner was his Namo, whatever. So I'm glad first thing I'll say, Mr. Yang, is I'm very happy growing up as a young person that you had a dog. I mean, that tells me a lot that there is hope for you, that you did have a friend growing up. And, sometimes you only get imaginary friends and sometimes you get pets as friends, and that's okay. We don't have a problem with that. So I've dropped the link there, Mr. Yank, if you want to come up for a visit. Oh, I got to order some ink today, by the way. You guys, can you remind me? I need to order ink for my printer. Can somebody remind me to do that? I guess I can write it down. And double. Oh, I already did that. Ink. Oh, my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. We're getting ready for Halloween. What's everybody going to do for Halloween? Dennis, do they do Halloween in Canada like we do crazy crap Halloween in America? I don't know. I know they don't really get into Halloween that much in the Philippines, or at least it doesn't seems to be a majorly tamed down version of what we do here. I'll tell you what we did, or what my wife did. My wife went ahead and bought these really cool, good quality Halloween costumes because she thought the local Filipino community was going to be putting on a big Halloween thing. And she really wanted to go. So we spent all this money on these stupid costumes. Apparently, they're not putting on a Halloween thing. So now we have these costumes, and we have to figure out what to do with it. So we are, she is looking for other events to drag us to so that we can dress up in our costumes since we already paid for these costumes that we don't need. So that's one thing we're looking at doing. We don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but we are. I can't tell you what we are because I really don't know what we are, but apparently we are matching. So knowing my wife, she probably looks a whole lot better than I do. You know, she probably bought her a really, really nice costume and got me the ugly one. So that's okay though. Role play. Well, you know, she did say something the other day because I asked her about this. I'm like, well, so what are we going to do with these costumes? That we have no place to go. There's not a big costume event happening that we know of yet. Now, there may be something community wise in the whole entire community, not the Filipino community. She's like, well, maybe we can wear them at Christmas time. How do you go from a Halloween costume that's suitable for Halloween, scary, that you can wear at Christmas time? You got to ponder that one. We got to think about that one. How is that? Because I know they're not Santa Claus outfits. Because when she was ordering them, she showed me all kinds of pictures of non-Christmassy outfits. So I don't know what they are. But Mr. Yank, we actually don't need a role play. We don't need a role play, man. Our lives are so exciting enough as it is without role play. So Canada, I can't even talk today. You guys have Halloween. Is it something that is taken, you know, seriously, where people go out of their way and decorate their houses in orange and purple lights and put ghosts out on the yards and put fake spider webs everywhere and coffins in the yard to try to scare the little kids when they walk by? Now, do you guys do that up there, or is it more subdued? Plus, God, I would think by Halloween it's cold as hell up there. You know, probably 2 or 3 feet of snow. This is my envision of Canada in the winter is like 12 feet of snow, minus 900 degrees. And every time you step outside, you run the risk of turning your lungs into popsicles. So that's always my vision of Canada in the winter time. So I know it's a beautiful country during the summer because I've seen the pictures. So I don't know, but that's what we got to do. We got to figure out what to do for Halloween. We're not going to go trick or treating. They do have here called Mall-oween, which is for kids, and that doesn't allow us to go there. But Dennis says, "Oh yes, let the capital spirit go on." That's right. Anything to get people to spend money. So here we have a thing called Mall-oween, where if you have a good mall, and we don't, we have crappy malls. You can bring the little kiddies and they can go to store to store to store to store, and they can buy, or not buy, but they get the candy given out to them from the stores. Yes, the igloos get cold. I bet you they do. The dog sled teams get very cold. I bet you they do. I'm just telling you. My winter vision of Canada is like living in my freezer. That's my vision of Canada during the winter. James is in the house. James, I was talking about you earlier. We appreciate you being here. I'm going to show some of your videos here in a few minutes. About 9:30, I'm going to show the 2 videos of Lorelei getting your packages. So, so stick around for that. It'll be a lot of fun. And once again, James, we appreciate you. And Dennis says, break 1 foot of ice to get water. Yeah. Well, why I say this is partly because, we lived in Chicago as a kid. And I remember how freaking cold it was. But I had some friends that lived in northern Minnesota, the UP, the Upper Peninsula. And they would tell me that during the winter, when they'd go to the grocery store, they would have to take coolers with them to put their groceries in it, especially like the milk. And it wasn't to keep it cold, it was to keep it from freezing by the time they got home. Otherwise, they just put it in the back of the car or put it in the trunk, it would freeze solid. So they would take coolers with them and put those type of items, soda, water, whatever, in these coolers so they wouldn't freeze to death or freeze solid by the time they got them home. And then, of course, I remember the horror stories about people up north when it was really bitter and cold, trying to open up their car doors and those little plastic handles busting. That's cold stuff up there. Yank, did your football team lose again last night? I couldn't remember. Or the other night? Or that French-made outfit you bought last week? Well, but I bought that for my French maid. So I don't know if my French maid would appreciate me wearing her clothes, and your mom is from the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So yeah, I said Michigan. Did I say Minnesota? Whichever. It's Michigan is where the UP is. I might have said Minnesota, but the UP. So, but back on the French maid, because that's more interesting than your mom, especially, did you see your mom in a French maid's outfit or something when you were a kid? I don't know. But the French maid's outfit is for the French maid. It's not for the Italian maid we have, or the Filipino yaya, or the German whatever. It's truly for the French maid. Just keep that in mind. No sharing whatsoever. So, but that's my envision. So my only envision would be Halloween in Canada would be when you go to door, you'd be on your skis or your snowmobile, and you get out bundled up, go to the door and get a piece of frozen candy, or get a piece of candy. By the time you got back to the street, it'd be frozen. And that's kind of my vision of Canada in the wintertime. And of course, does anybody here like the cold weather? Because I hate it. Absolutely hate it. It's starting to get chilly here. I mean, it was down to the other night, 38 degrees here. 38 degrees. Rock the Boat is in the house. Everybody say hello to Rock the Boat. Rock the Boat and say hello to everybody. Remember, this live stream is all about you guys. Everybody has an open invitation to come up on the panel and discuss anything that you would like to. So far, we're discussing some videos I'm going to show you in a few minutes from our good friend James. Did a favor for us. We're also been talking about Halloween and what to do for Halloween, because my wife bought us these costumes and I have no clue what to do with them because we don't have a Halloween plan. So she thought there was going to be a Halloween party, or the Philippine American community was going to have a big Halloween party, is what she thought. Apparently they're not. So now we're trying to find another Halloween event that my wife can drag me to, just so that she can dress up in a costume. So that's where we're at to this day. Oh, and I also got to buy some ink for my printer, by the way. Rock the Boat says they are working and watching right now, but we appreciate that. We do. We appreciate that. I'm still working on what cruise we're going on next year. We still haven't decided what cruise we're taking. next September, October. I'm leaning towards the Greek Isles. Actually, I don't know if it's called the Greek Isles, but I don't know, somewhere like Italy and France, bounce around in that part. It's like a 10 or 11-day cruise there. And then we're looking at another one going out of Miami to like the Cayman Islands and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So that's where we're going there. Rock the Boat says hello to Mr. Yank. Mr. Yank, my wife made a lot of fun of you in one of her videos. So I appreciate her doing that for me. Cold up here last night was 67. Well, I'm telling you, it was 38 degrees the other morning when we got up. The good thing was I just brought in all of our house plants that we had outside on the back patio. I just brought those in, so that worked really well. Rock the Boat is saying hello to Dennis. Yank says hello back. James is getting a big hello from, or big hey from Rock the Boat. Your live stream is delayed. After you speak, your lips are still moving. Wow, I wonder why. That's interesting. So James says that I'm delayed for some reason. Do I look delayed? How about now? I don't know why that is. Let me, I don't know if there's anything I can do to improve that. Maybe there's too many things open up on my browser. I don't know. Rock the Boat says we just got back last week from our, oh, that's right. You guys went on your Mediterranean cruise. It was great. Yeah. You going to upload some videos on that? Timmy's in the house. Timmy, good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Everybody gives us a thumbs up, please, and shout us out. We greatly appreciate that. And Timmy, James is saying I am delayed. Man, am I delayed in your country too? Maybe it's just an American thing. Yep, everybody go and like Rock the Boat's channel. They're a good channel. They just got back from a Mediterranean cruise. So I think that's pretty cool. Walk up, high, rock, and all. That's right. Rock the Boat's a good channel. And Timmy's a good channel. I don't know if you guys knew this about Timmy. Timmy told us last time that she writes horror stories for a Tagalog channel, YouTube channel. And Timmy, you are correct. I went and found that channel and couldn't understand a damn thing on it. So just thought I'd share that. But I think it's cool that you write horror stories. How about, see, Timmy's in Malaysia, right? Timmy, so what goes on for Halloween in Malaysia? I don't know. I'm asking. Rock the Boat just says, we did one video, Gina, so editing the footage for more videos. That's great. I can't wait to see them because, like I said, I think it's called, I don't want to say the Greek Isles, but maybe it's the Mediterranean cruise that we're like going on. Timmy says, not delayed on my end. You're all good. Woo-hoo! Man, I'm good. Maybe I have too many thingies open. I don't know. But, all right, you guys want to see James, the stuff that James bought us, got us, took care of us? Because remember last week, as a quick recap, we had a whole bunch of us on here. And James come up and he took us on a tour in San Francisco of Seafood City is where he went and took us there. You guys remember on the live stream. And he was kind enough to, well, one thing first was before that, he told us early in the live stream, hey, by the way, I'm sending you guys a small package. I'm like, oh, wow, you don't have to do that, but great. We appreciate it. We got that in on Sunday or Monday, I think Sunday. And then, but during the course of the live stream, James took us to the seafood supermarket, showed us around. Ronald got to flirt with a couple of pretty girls. Everybody was hitting on the girls, the single Filipinas. And, but James was kind enough to pick out a few items, food items, that we could no longer get in this part of the country. they used to be sold here in this part, but in the last 3 or 4 years, even in Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, we haven't been able to find these products. So he was gracious enough to go around the store and send us some. Lorelai, of course, did not know anything about these things, and so I let them to be a surprise to her, of course. And I want to share those videos with you guys. So bear with me while I figure out how to do that. I think I kind of come. No, I want to do that. Yeah. All right, you got to give me a second here. I think I need to open up the video. Yep. All right. I got too many things going on here, guys. All righty. I think this is it. You got to remember. Oh, here it is. Man, I'm not very smart, guys. Sorry. All right, so here's our very first video. For the first box that we got in on Sunday from James.
This is Lorelai from Philippine American couple and my beloved husband behind the camera. Say hi to David.
Hi, David.
All right, as usual, we have a package.
We got a package?
But this is a special one.
It's a special package. How do you know it's a special package?
Because I don't know that we have a package.
I didn't order it.
That's why I say it's special, because we have a package from our first YouTube subscriber. And a friend of ours.
I have no clue what's in this one either.
And this is James again.
James.
My sister is on the camera.
That's her sister. She's kind of small, but that's her right there, you see.
All right.
What is it? Does it smell good? Is it cash?
Well, James, you're so generous, James.
Is it car keys to like a new Mercedes?
I don't know, guys. What do you think?
What do you think it is?
It's 2 pound.
2 pounds?
Uh-huh.
That could be a car key to a new Mercedes.
And it's a solid one.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of round inside.
Well, don't break it.
And what do you think? Man,
I'm excited.
James spent these boxes to buy this, to send this to us.
We're going to have to send him a really good Christmas gift.
See? This is like you buy in the UPS.
Or maybe we can send him a Filipina for Christmas.
Asian. Oh. This is from the, okay. From Seafood City.
Seafood City.
There you go. The plastic is Seafood City.
You guys see that?
If you guys doesn't know, this is like a big Asian store, like Metro in the Philippines.
Big.
Yeah, because they have Jollibee and Chowking and Red Ribbon inside by the entrance.
And live seafood even.
Yeah, and they have like on the side like
Street food?
barbecue food or Filipino cuisines. And they have shoot to kill.
Shoot to kill?
A seafood that you wanna just order. Hey, I buy this one. Oh, look at this.
Hey, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share.
Pinoy.
Oh, Pinoy.
Lechon me. Oh, there. Wow. This is what you got before?
Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment.
So Pinoy style.
Pinoy style. What does Pinoy mean?
Pinoy means, Pinoy ako, I'm the Philippines, from Philippines. Pinoy is
It's an awful lot of words for one word.
Pinoy is a noun. Philippines is a country. Filipino is a nationality. Boom! I got it right.
How about it, sister? Did she get it right?
Pamana. Day, what you think, Day? Buko pandan.
She's not even paying attention. She's busy
Buko
having fun.
pandan.
So we got some good old-fashioned Pinoy Select lunch meat,
Oh, this is like a $4 there.
less sodium. I love spam. And I know
This one.
this
Let's
isn't
see.
the spam. You know, it's the Philippine version
And
of
they
spam.
have a
A newspaper. From the
$6.99.
Well, I think that's a newspaper from the Philippines. Maybe? No?
Northern California Asian Journal, Marcos Duterte, Trust Performance Rating Dip.
I think that's part what he sent us was the newspaper to read.
Yeah.
So we would know how things are going in the Philippines
Oh, that's a really good. I like that.
in Northern California. Yeah, we'll have to send James a really good Christmas gift, or maybe we'll send him a really cute Filipina. You know, the other day.
You will send the cute Filipina or a stuffed toy?
You know, well, you never
Yeah,
know.
see that one there? It's a news in the Philippines.
And remember, we know all kinds of beautiful single Filipinas in the Philippines. What else is in the bag? Was that it? Was that it? What else
Yeah.
did you get? What else did you get? Come on,
That's
come on,
it.
come
A
on.
receipt.
What was? You didn't tell us about that other thingy.
Yeah, it says pastillas. It's
What
a
is that?
buko pandan, coconut pandan with sweet milk penny.
Okay, but use words.
It's candy.
Oh, candy.
You know what's pandan?
Well, no, I don't know what that is. How would I
Pandan?
know what
Buko pandan?
that- No, how would I know
Coconut
what that is?
pandan?
We've only been married 50 years. How would I
Pandan
know what
is
that
a leaf.
See, you don't even know. I see the doubt in your eyes. You
Yeah,
better ask
leaf.
your sister, who's a real Filipino.
Dai, buko pandan, explain. Buko pandan. Oh, see? She's
She says she doesn't know
She's
either.
worse. Ay, buko pandan is a pandan. It's a leaf that the buko is a coconut and they flavored it with the pandan.
So they flavored coconut with a leaf or a leaf with coconut?
Coconut with leaf.
Well, how does the leaf taste?
Well, it's up to the taster. No, the one that, you know that in the Philippines that they have this buko in the street, like a coconut juice with a green one? You ate those before.
Man, those are damn good.
Oh, he steal it.
Man, these are good.
Ah, James. Thanks, James.
Holy crap.
Yeah, this is the popular. Remember, my guy, when they're doing the buko in a... Hey, like, kalamit eh.
Coconut pandan sweet milk candies. These are really good. Way better than grapes. Man. We're going to have to, the Razorbacks play later, so I'm going to have to try not to eat all of these while I'm watching football.
I just want to tell James to that about that you like Filipino luncheon meat, I guess.
Yeah, we had a conversation about it the other day about
James paid more on the shipping.
than the food. Well, we're going to find him a pretty Filipina and ship him one for Christmas.
Shipping.
So if anybody would like to meet a fine young American, just let us know. All right, Miss Filipino. Any other thoughts? No more thoughts?
No, where's my Coke?
That's water.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Coke and put in
Okay.
the shit.
Well, tell,
Well, a recap. James, thank you so much. But you don't remember what's Buko Pandan. Well, David said that I have a new package coming up.
yeah, you have a package coming this next week. That's a big time surprise. And especially for you from James and I.
Really?
Really.
I wonder what is it.
And it's, well, we're not going to tell you because it wouldn't be a surprise. So I want you guys to tune in to see the surprise that's coming. And now all we have to do, since James is so generous and grateful, or I don't. We are so grateful for James and all he's done. Now, what we need to do, Lorelai, is we need to find somebody that owns like 20 or 30 multi-billion-dollar mansions, and have them subscribe to the channel, and maybe then they would give us like just one of their extra billion-dollar houses. But James, you know how much we appreciate all that you've sent us and what you're doing this next week. And my friends, and this is for all of you guys out there, if you need us for any reason, we are here.
Hold on.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on tight.
What is a t-shirt bag multi-use? Is $10? Which is all $10? This one?
The bag?
10 cents?
Oh, 10 cents.
We need to pay a bag?
Yes, in California, you got to pay for everything that's plastic.
And that's 10 cents.
10 cents. Well, you had to buy them in the Philippines too.
No, but ours is look like a shopping bag. This one is like it's a durable plastic.
Yeah, like a Walmart bag.
See, Seafood City celebrating true Filipinos goodness. Oh, they're in Manila, Manila National.
All right, well, say bye to everybody.
All right, guys, thank you so much. And for more videos, please subscribe and hit that
Blur button.
hit that bell button for more videos.
I think somebody's been drinking. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
All right, James, let's get everybody caught up. So that's exciting, right? I think we got another video though. We got part 2 to that. So hang on. So James is saying, make sure. Now I'm going to give the address again, James. Seafood City Supermarket, 3573 Callan Boulevard, South San Francisco. And James, I'm going to admit to you one thing. I'm pretty good in geography, but I didn't know there was South San Francisco, to be honest. I didn't know that. Timmy is asking Mr. Yank, because Mr. Yank up here is saying, poor old sweet Timmy, who wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings, hurt Mr. Yank's feelings. I got a feeling that's just a tummy ache, Timmy, from all the cheap Chinese beer that he's been drinking in the Philippines. So, and of course, Timmy is saying, what, Tony? I'm not aware of that. Oh my gosh. You like that? You like that female voice of mine? So, South San Francisco, California, when you were on the live stream with us, and he showed us around the area a little bit too, which I thought was cool. Timmy is telling everybody in the whole entire world how thoughtful James is, which we totally agree. All right, so here, see, this is what I need. This is where Timmy's expertise comes into place. Buko pandan is a combination of coconut, and pandan is leaves that has good aroma and brings out the flavor. It gives your dessert or dish an aromatic and tasteful ingredients. All right, see, I couldn't get my wife. Because look, it's not like I would go out in the woods and get an oak leaf and put coconut on it and go, this is really good. I really like this. So there had to be some other flavor or issue with the leaf. I'm not going to go get a maple leaf and put, chocolate on it and go, yum, yum. Come on, there has to be something to it. All right. Rockboat says, I wish I could try the meat pork. And I know a lot of people don't like it. Here, I'm going to tell you a funny story. I got to be careful about how I tell it, but I'm going to try to tell you a funny story. Then I'm going to show you this other video. I got to be careful because I can't offend anybody. So, but one thing, first and foremost, I love Spam and meat products. The Philippines actually has the one that James sent us, and there's like 2 other brands in the Philippines, like Celebrity, and maybe Timmy can remember the other one. But you can find them at the local Asian stores. They are way, 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 way better than Spam, the Spam brand. They have more flavor and they don't taste as salty. So we like those. They are outstanding compared to Spam. I like Spam. All right. So let me try to explain to you my funny story if I can. By the time I censor it, it may not be funny. I know somebody who's from the Philippines, who works in America in a area of high poverty, and in this area, the person was talking to me about this because they know how much I actually like spam. So they were talking to me about spam and about how expensive it is in America, and it is. It's like $4 or $5 a can, so that's pretty bad. But they were telling me that they were talking to these particular group of people that are very, very poor, and they were talking about how disgusting spam was and how it is just disgusting, and they would never eat this spam. And I had to tell this person who's from the Philippines, what you have to understand is, one, spam is $5, $4 a can in America. So if you're really, really poor in America, you can't afford spam. You eat hot dogs and macaroni and cheese. So that's kind of, that maybe that's not a funny story. I don't know. Timmy says spam tastes nicer than luncheon meat. Yeah, Timmy, I agree with you. Luncheon meat, especially American luncheon meat, is really kind of gross, And if you go in and buy like sliced up turkey and ham that's been put in a luncheon meat style, it almost has a sliminess to it. Whether it's kind of like a saltwater slime to preserve it, I don't know, but it's kind of slimy. So it's a little gross. But Rock the Boat says, I wish you could try the meat pork. You should. And you can find it at different Asian stores, is my point. So, but spam is expensive here in the United States. I think we had a bunch of it in the Philippines. Well, we had all the Filipino brands when we were in the Philippines. So, Demi is saying lunch meat has a lot of preservatives in it. Boy, she got that right. All right, you guys ready for the next video? Let me see if I can figure out how to do this because I just did it a second ago. I should be smart enough to do it. Here's part 2.
Hi guys. Hi guys. Hi guys. I just came from work and I saw this big box.
Big box?
Yeah, and it weighed, I don't know, it weighed.
It's from FedEx. It's a FedEx box.
Yeah. It's FedEx. And guess what? Where it came from?
Where did it come from?
Well, it says David. It's came from all the way to San Francisco, California.
Came from San Francisco, California.
It came from, if you're familiar, James. He's a single guy. James, I'm sorry. He's our first YouTube subscriber until now. He's very loyal.
All right, so what do you think is in the box before you open it?
I don't know, it's kinda
Heavy or light?
Oh, it looks like I got a chips. I don't know, it sounds like a big...
It could be a bunch of peanuts in there, like styrofoam.
Yeah, it's not like there's...
Not like edible peanuts, but like the styrofoam peanuts.
Styrofoam peanuts?
You know those little white starchy things?
You hear this one? Here.
Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of styrofoam peanuts. But I actually know what's in the box.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Because, here, let me tell you a little bit of background before you get too excited.
It's 3.7 pounds.
Wow, that's a lot of pounds.
But it doesn't feel like...
So the other day on the live stream, it was all of us crazy guys that are married to Filipinos and a few single men that were on the live streams, all even from Australia, Canada, Europe, America, and the Philippines. And James was kind enough to take us somewhere very special where he lives.
Oh,
and with the help of everybody on the live
Is that
stream.
a boat that you sent?
A boat? No, he would send me a boat. But with the help of everybody from Australia, England, Canada, the Philippines, and America, we picked out these items just for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did it
I wonder
collectively.
which one. Okay.
James did all the hard
Wait,
work.
Pinoy
Wait,
Henyo.
before you get too excited, remember, Ronald
Okay.
was there, and Ronald got to flirt with some cute little Filipino girl
Yeah.
behind one of the
cashier.
registers. Yeah.
Okay. So you say yes or no.
To what?
Then I will ask you, is this a thing?
Everything's a thing.
No, I'm just wondering. Maybe it's an animal in there. It's
Well,
a thing.
an animal's
Yes or
still a
no?
thing.
See, David doesn't know how to play.
But an animal's
You
a
just say
thing.
yes or no. It's a Pinoy Henyo. Yes, animal is not a thing. It's a living organ.
What is a living organism, which happens to be a
It's
thing?
Thing. It's a non-living. Okay. Yeah, thing. Non-living things. Okay.
If it's
Can you use in the kitchen?
you can use it anywhere in the world.
You say yes or no. You're bad.
And if it was living, it would be
Okay, I'm
awful.
gonna open now. I'm gonna do your
Okay.
guess.
Well, good. I didn't want you to guess in the first place.
Yeah.
I was just telling you, see, it's brown paper. I told you. I was just trying to explain to you the history about how everybody picked it out for you. So you can thank the Yank, Ronald,
It's getting nicer.
you know,
It's good.
Simon
My
over in
piatos.
England,
No.
everybody.
See, I got my piatos. Hey, you know what? It's been so long they don't sell this here now. Oh. See, I
Well,
told you it's a tips.
well, and that's what James was asking.
Super size.
He took us to Seafood City, all of us, on the live stream to Seafood City in San Francisco.
I didn't taste this yet.
And he asked, hey, well, I'm here. Is there anything
Wow.
that
We
you
got a
could think
Nova?
of that Lorelai might like?
Holy cow! I'm heaven. James, I mean, all you guys who, man, these
But James did the work.
these are all my favorites.
Because he asked if there's anything in Arkansas that you couldn't get anymore, but could he get them at the seafood store for us?
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot.
Well, now let me say one other thing.
Wow.
You can't thank the Yank. The Yank fell asleep during it. So don't
Anthony, don't credit it.
don't thank Anthony. He was asleep.
How much is the banana chips? $3.99. Wow.
So let's show what kind of tips did you get?
Hold on. Are you kidding? I got a red ribbon.
Yeah, what's red ribbon? For everybody that doesn't know, what is red ribbon? It's a bakery.
It's a bakery that's famous in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And they really taste good.
Yeah, and they make
Ubi. This is ubi.
really good cakes.
Cheese. David can.
And these are like Danishes or snack
ensaymada.
cakes. Is what these are.
Ensaymada. Holy cow, James, you're very awesome.
So here's some snack cakes.
Wow. We need to keep this receipt because
We
need
will. We'll take care of James. Remember, we're sending him a Filipino for Christmas.
to. Wow.
All right, show everybody individually what you got.
This is my favorite.
Which is, what is that?
Piatos. Oh, we have a good memory of this, David, when we're dating.
I told him that. I said,
Oh, you already told him?
I told the guys on the live stream because we were talking that flavor was the first thing I ate in the Philippines.
Yes, and David was surprised of my technique. David was so picky on the time. I don't want to eat that one. I don't want to eat that one. So I impressed him a lot of a Girl Scout technique. Wow, he's so serious. This is really good.
So you got banana chips, you got sour cream and onion,
Banana chips is my favorite.
you got the cheese flavor.
The Vika,
The
the
Vika.
the barbecue, the roasted beef.
Yeah, that's a brand flavor we never heard of.
Yeah, this is a new one.
Yeah.
And this one I never. This one pizza. We got this pizza.
Yeah,
Roasted beef. Yeah, we never have those.
and we never had this one before.
I like beef.
Somebody was saying they were in the Philippines now. I think
Yeah.
somebody, I don't know.
Man, James. Oh my goodness.
See, and he was kind enough to go into Red Ribbon.
Yeah, this is like how many that we don't have see in here
It's been
now.
a long
It's been
before
a
we went to
while.
the Philippines. Yeah.
And
It's been
since
a
when
long
we're
time.
back, we don't see this one.
Anywhere.
And
Even
of
up
course, James, this is a story. If you see
Yeah.
somewhere a video, when we arrived there, David said, Lorelai, you know you're in the Philippines right now. You can get it tomorrow.
yeah. What,
Because I just like this, that one, that one, that one, I want that one, and a whole cake.
when we first landed in the Philippines the last time, Lorelai went crazy and bought like $20 USD of Red Ribbon snack cakes. And I had to tell her, but you realize you're in the Philippines, so we can just go there every day and get
This is
them.
the ensaymada. The bread that has the,
Ubi in it.
yeah, you just be careful in the back because there will be a plastic paper, which David kept always eating on it.
Well, if it tastes good, why not? So,
Yeah, there's that. Ube. Taste it, my love.
I think you ate the paper.
No, I don't. I do not like you.
Paper's good in fiber. I'll just take a bite.
Hey, good bacteria is good sometimes, you know. I don't need
A
to wash my
pinch.
hand. that I used to hold the box.
These are really, really good.
Really good.
If there's one store that I wish we had close to us, would be a seafood.
Man. I wonder which one I will open for.
All right, well, tell everybody from the live stream.
Maybe this one because we don't have it yet.
Okay, well, show them how you, wait. No, show them. You wanted to brag about your Girl Scout technique of opening chips? Come on.
Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth
So
is.
this one?
Come on. Well, show them. Don't cheat.
See that one? You do it like you're just doing this.
You could have just used scissors, but
Oh, what? That's not a Girl Scout no more.
because when I first got to the Philippines, the very, very first time we were at the,
See?
we stayed at the
And that's a plate.
We stayed at the Seafood Waterfront Hotel.
Waterfront Hotel.
And we had no plates in the room. And Lorelai, this is the very
Yeah,
first
because
time.
David kept dropping it, like trying to scatter it. So I told him, why you just can't open like this? So it will not miss.
Are they good? We've never had this brand,
Yeah.
this flavor.
Tastes like beef. Really good.
Does.
I know. That's why he got two.
Wow, they really do taste like roast beef.
Yeah, really like a beef. It's good, guys. Flavored with potato chips.
Wow,
Impressive.
it really does.
I know. I wonder. Look, really beef.
I mean, it
It looks like
truly,
it's soaked in a here.
it really does taste like roast beef, even with a little bit of like a hint of carrot or something.
Really good, huh? Yep.
Yeah.
See, that's why I made a big hole now. But see, because
So-
usually if you open it here, it will flow like that.
We didn't have any plates in the hotel room, so this is what Lorelai did, so that I would have a bowl to eat my chips out of. The very first time I was in the
Yeah,
Philippines
because he
back
kept
in
dropping if he kept doing on his hand inside.
2013 for Christmas holiday. So
Well, all right, thank you guys. This is really nice.
yeah, they're gonna see this.
James, you're gonna spoil me, James. We're best friends now.
Well, he's gonna get a Filipino for Christmas. We're gonna have to figure out how to ship him one.
Oh,
And all the guys are gonna see this in the morning. So you want to say anything to all the guys in the morning?
I'm working.
No, they're gonna see this video in the morning.
Oh, thank you guys for all the contribution. This is really thoughtful.
Except for Anthony. Except for the yank.
Yeah,
Because he was
Anthony-
asleep.
Maybe Anthony will wake when you see the red horse.
All right, guys. What you guys think of that? Isn't that some of the coolest stuff? I think, as you can tell, Lorelai was tickled to death. But Timmy says she's so happy. Yeah, Piatos and Nova. You know, the weird thing, or I guess it's not weird, but the interesting thing is the chips are actually pretty good. I know if you're in America, if you grow up here, we're used to like Doritos and Lay's, but for the money, I think those Filipino brand chips are, especially in the Philippines, because it's so much cheaper. Obviously, if you're in the Philippines, you might pay what 20 pesos for a bag of piatas, where you'd pay like 150 pesos for a bag of Lay's. So you definitely would want to go with the local brand, no matter what country you're in. And I think they're just as good. Jimmy is telling us that Red Ribbon is a cake brand. That's right. So um, the Red Ribbon Bakery here in the United States, we don't have that many of them. The one closest to us happens to be in Houston, Texas, so a 9-hour drive. They also have a Jollibee down there. And yes, I drove 9 hours and took Lorelei to the Jollibee and to the Red Ribbon. Yes, I've done that. So, but Red Ribbon produces a lot of really, really good cake, different types of cakes like mango and ubi and chocolate cakes. Oh, Timmy. What's the other brand in the Philippines? It's not Red Ribbon. Golden. What is the other brand? Does anybody know what the other brand is there in the Philippines? I just lost it. So yeah, it's a cake brand, but they're really good. It's a really good product line. I think it would sell well to mainstream Americans if they knew about it. Yep, big haul. Lorelei was very tickled, and we very appreciate Dennis, James doing that. As you can tell, she had a good time with it. It is a lot. It will last Lorelei, I don't know, probably a day, 2 days. Rock the Boat says, yeah, it is a nice haul. Rock the Boat, one thing that we love to do when we travel, and no matter where we go, whether it's within the United States or wherever, we like to find items and foods that we've never had before. We like to go to, Indian stores and Ethiopian stores, you name it. If we can find it, if Asian stores, Chinese place, we don't care. We would even be happy to try a Canadian store. So, but great haul. That's what we like to do. Let's see what's going on here. Yummy from Timmy. Dennis says, the Canadian. I love seafood. I see it and I eat it. Yes, sir. That's the diet I am on. And in all seriousness, we love seafood. That's why living in the center of the United States kind of stinks, because by the time you get it here, it's old. Good trick. Yeah. You like that, huh? She was trying to impress me when we were dating back in 2013 when we were dating. And I just came to the Philippines. She was all trying to be impressive, but now she doesn't care. So she's like, I got you to marry me. It's all over with now. It's all that mattered. Common trick in the Philippines, Timmy is telling us. It was the same in Europe. They had way better flavors of chips. Yeah, here's my question. And this is kind of, whether it's science or human dynamics or psychology or biology, I don't know. But do we think it's truly better, or it's just that it's different and new to us? And so the different flavors are unique and they're enhanced. I don't know, but I agree with you. Timmy, Piatos are really good. I won't trade it for any other chips. You can't beat Piatos. Yeah, I like Piatos. Obviously Lorelei loves them. And I think partly because, she grew up on them and all that good stuff. So, but the sour cream and onions ones were, I'm going to tell you a story. The sour cream and onion ones, when I first got to the Philippines in 2013, and we stayed at the Cebu Waterfront Hotel, there was when I flew over to meet Lorelei for the first time, or the only time, whatever, you know what I mean. We, beforehand, Lorelei stocked the room up with a bunch of food that she actually thought I would like. I'm petting my dog Daisy down here. So And she did get some Doritos and some American Coke, some American things. But one of the first things I tried there was a bag of sour cream and onion piatos. So that's, one of the things there. Oh, here it is. Timmy says it's Goldilocks. That's right. The Goldilocks cakes. Okay, we're going to talk about food for a second. Because Goldilocks makes really, really good cake also. And I think Timmy is right where they complement each other. And I don't know which I like better. I actually think I liked Goldilocks cakes better in the Philippines versus Red Ribbon. I think Goldilocks has better cake, but Red Ribbon has better icing. And I think, if you can combine the two, you'd have a perfect cake. And they're so cheap in the Philippines. So we had cake at the house all the time, And what was great about the Philippines is you just call the Uber guy or the Cash App guy, and they just bring you a cake. Goldilocks and Red Ribbons always compete with each other. They are both nice. They are. They do compete. And which do you prefer? I really think the Goldilocks definitely has a better cake, but I like the icing on the Red Ribbon better. I think it's not as sugary for me, but they're all over the malls. You can have them custom made. I mean, they're really good, cheap cake. And we would buy them when we're in the Philippines. And then when the little neighborhood kids come over and we'd have friends come over, we would cut it up and give it out to the kids and her nieces and nephews, No matter where you're at in the world, everybody likes cake. That's one thing I've learned. Everybody likes cake and everybody likes ice cream. That's two things I know, no matter where you're at in the world. So now let me ask some of you guys who are in the Philippines about this. Have you ever heard of people eating ice cream on white bread with white bread? Has anybody ever heard of that? That disgusted me. The thought of somebody taking a piece of white bread, right? Like a piece of cake, but it's white bread, and putting a scoop of ube ice cream on it, or vanilla, or whatever it was, the Philippine ice cream, and eating that freaked me out. It was one of those things that I just could not embrace. It's kind of like having mayonnaise on my ham, like at Jollibee's. I could not embrace the concept of mayonnaise on my hamburger. Just couldn't do it. I can't eat white bread and ice cream. I just can't do it. Jimmy says chocolate back force cake. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my God, what a rude host you are. Chocolate black forest cake of Red Ribbon is nicer compared to Goldilocks chocolate cake. But when it comes to cheesecake, Goldie is nicer than Red. I would agree. It's a lot to be said about cake. But, look, and as a foreigner in the Philippines, the really good thing is we could just buy whatever we want. And so one time we would have a Goldilocks cake. The next time we would throw in a Red Ribbon cake, or get some snack. I mean, we just do whatever we want. You can live high on a heaven. Ice cream on a bun? You mean like what kind of bun are you talking about? But I can't do the whole ice cream on white bread. That's just, or wheat bread or any kind of bread. And it has to be a sweet thing like cake, not something you would put ham and cheese on to eat. Then, of course, we can talk about the ice cream in the Philippines, how it's so much different than American ice cream. So Dennis, Rock the Boat, any of you other guys that are here, not in the Philippines, if you ever go to an Asian store, look for ice cream that's made in the Philippines, or even the Korean ice cream is quite a bit different than American ice cream. Now, be prepared. You're going to spend like $9, $10 for a freaking quart of ice cream from Korea or America or Japan. But if you haven't ever had that, it's definitely worth having. Now, I'm not so for sure if the Philippine ice cream is better than American ice cream. Um, it tastes different, but not in a bad or a good way. It's just a little different. It's not as sweet, but it's creamier in a sense. So I find that quite interesting. But then again, here in the United States, if you want really good ice cream, just get the generic. The generic ice cream, I think, is the best. Yeah, the Yanks sleep again. You know, he can only stay awake past 9 p.m. one day out of the week, and that's on Fridays when he's drinking. If he's not drinking, he passes out early. So when he's drinking, he passes out late. But James, if you get a chance while you're out in California, pick you up if you haven't already had it. Pick you up some Filipino ice cream or the Korean ice cream. I actually like the Korean ice cream. So, but you know, Rock the Boat says he has, or they have, a international market near us. You should. I mean, it's a little pricey. I mean, but once in a while, it's kind of cool. In the Philippines, we have a relative that works for the the ice cream company. I can't remember what it's called, and so we got a lot of free ice cream. So, yes, the Yank is the new Michael McFarlane. He's pulling the Yank now pulls the Michael McFarlane, and Dennis. This may be something that's offensive to people, but I'm gonna say this from my own perspective, and I can't lump all foreigners together. And what I mean by foreigners are people from other countries than the Philippines that live in the Philippines, but it does seem to me, including myself in this, I'm including myself, to be true that foreigners seem to drink a whole lot heavier in the Philippines than they do in their home countries. And my wife Lorelai and I discussed this a while back, why that is. Because even when I was living in the Philippines, I drank way more than I ever do in America. So my wife, and I was discussing this, and you guys can chime in on what you think. She said it's because, the alcohol is so much cheaper in the Philippines. Well, beer's cheaper, and you can buy that like that local Filipino rum. I can't remember the brand. That's really cheap. But if you want to buy, Bacardi, it's the same price in the Philippines as it is America. So if you want to buy Crown Royal, you're going to pay a little bit more in the Philippines than you would in America. So, the fine alcohols is not cheap. They have beer that's a lot cheaper. But my wife says it's because beer is so much cheaper in the Philippines. And I think she has a point, but I don't think that's the case. My opinion, and I would really, really love to hear people about this, it's not because it's cheaper, it's because they're bored in the Philippines. There's not as much to do. And I know a lot of guys want to immigrate to the Philippines and Thailand and other countries, not only for the beautiful women, but to be able to just sit back, relax, and do nothing. But I think after a while, doing nothing gets old for people that come from a very active country. And so they wind up consuming way more alcohol, to pass the time of the day than they would back in their own country. I don't know. See, Dennis agrees. See, Dennis, this is why you're probably the second smartest person in the whole entire world, because you agree with me. So, but that's what I think, because I found myself in the Philippines so freaking bored that I drink a lot. I drink a lot. Yes, David, on point. Thank you, sir. Yeah, well, rock the boat. What it is, my friend, is you're right. You know, when we go on cruises or other vacation, I drink more on a cruise ship than I do at home too. But you know, here at home, it's like James sent me some Red Horse beer, which is one of my favorite. It is my favorite Filipino beer, but it's also one of my favorite beers because I like strong, heavy beers. But I don't drink much. You know, I may drink one or two, maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 beers a month. But on a cruise ship, since the quality of drinks are very good and they taste good, I will have easily at least one martini or nice mixed drink every night at dinner or at the shows. I might have 1 or 2 drinks every night, which is way more out of turn for me. So you're right, being on vacation stimulates that. But we know, as you guys know, rock the boat, cruise ship drinks aren't cheap, even if you get the drink package. But so I do think there's a component of it. And when guys go live in the Philippines, after the first couple of months, and you've gone to the mall 30,000 times, and you've gone, you know, and ate a whole bunch of red ribbons and Jollibees and everything, and you've gone to the beach, there's really not a whole lot to do. You have to find something to do there. So I think drinking takes up that pastime, and it is quite a bit cheaper. So then, of course, a lot of guys, if you don't know, this is what we call like vacation millionaires. There's a lot of guys that go to Thailand or the Philippines or Malaysia or countries in Africa or Jamaica, and their dollar goes so much further there that for 30 days, you know, they could take a couple $1,000s and live like kings. So vacation millionaires. And while they're there, they will consume great quantities of alcohol, great quantities. And I think, rock the boat, this is where you're at. It is the combination of cheaper and being on vacation. But when you live in the Philippines, and the Philippines is a great place, they have a lot of things to improve upon, but it's a good place. That I think boredom sets in for a lot of folks. And then the alcohol is, the beer is so cheap, why not? But if the beer was the same price as it was in the United States, I don't think that would be the factor. I think guys wouldn't drink as much. I think they would go, well, I'm not going to spend that kind of money just because I'm bored. But since, you know, I don't know how much, I don't remember. For example, 500 milliliter of Red Horse bottle. I wish Jack was here today. Jack would know. But I think a 500 milliliter bottle of Red Horse sells for about 60 pesos, which is $1.10 in the Philippines. 1 liter would probably be 80 pesos, about $1.30, $1.40. And I promise you that you would pay $3 to $4 in America for that same price. Or that would have been, that Red Horse would be, I can't even think of a decent American beer because we don't have any. Miller, I don't know, Coors. In the Philippines, if that was American, they wouldn't buy it. They wouldn't buy it. Dennis says a lot will acquire addiction problems. See, Dennis, I totally agree with that. And it's sad, but it's true. Now, and let me clarify something. I've never been in the military, but I have a great respect for everybody that has served in the military. And I think the guys that have been in the military do way better living in foreign countries than guys that do not. But I also know from having enough friends in the military It's kind of like living in the Philippines or other countries. Well, the military makes sure that alcohol is so cheap, and you're during their downtime when they're bored, they have nothing better to do. That's why the military has come out in the years past talking about how they need to combat the alcohol problem with the alcoholism problem within the military itself. Because Dennis, a lot of vets become alcoholics, including my brother who died from it. So, and he flatly told me, we had nothing to do in Germany but sit around and wait to be told what to do. So we drank like fish because it was so cheap. And I think a lot of foreigners or expats that go to the Philippines run into the same thing. Yeah, Dennis, you're right. And I know I'm going down a rabbit hole a little bit, but in my opinion, you have a lot of people that are functioning alcoholics all over the world, right? So, and a functioning alcoholic is somebody who's just an alcoholic and get by day to day. And I've known a bunch of these in my lifetime. You have a lot of guys that want to go retire in the Philippines or other countries from a first world country that are truly alcoholics in their home country. And they are truly looking forward to going to a country where they can sit around and drink and drink and drink. And how do I know this? Because I've actually interviewed men. One thing I'll tell you, I met this guy right after the typhoon, not right after. So here's what happened to us, if you guys don't know. We got there, and about a month later, we got smacked by the typhoon Odette. It blew us away, knocked us out, killed us, flattened our, it was just a disaster. After 10 days, we finally got to a hotel on the other side of the island that had water and electricity half of the day. Now, I paid 5 times the going rate for that hotel room, but I really needed some air conditioning, and I really needed to take a bath. So we paid the money, went on the other side of the island, and we got to stay in the hotel. I ran into a gentleman, and I really liked him. He kind of reminded me of Dennis Rodman in a way, without the piercings. But I got talking to him in the lobby of the hotel because you got to remember, this 1-2 hotels in this little area that had generators and pumps filled up with foreigners. And we were talking to him in the lobby, and I asked him, he asked, "Oh, where are you guys from? Blah, 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 how you guys do." And I got talking to him, and he's been living in the Philippines. He was like 85 or 86. He'd been living in the Philippines since he turned 80, if I remember right, so 5 or 6 years. And I asked him, I said, "Well, why do you live?" He was single. He had no Filipino wife. And I asked him, I said, "Well, why do you live here?" He lived on Mactan Island where we did. And so the whole island was obliviated pretty much. And so he lived in a rooming board house there on Mactan Island. And I asked him, I said, "Well, why do you live here?" And he's like, "Well, one, if I want to have sex with somebody, I can just give them a few pesos and have sex. The most important thing is that I can drink all day and all night and all day and all night and all day and all night, and nobody bothers me. I came to the Philippines so I can be a blown out drunk as much as I want." And he's like, "And that's what I do. My family can't yell at me. They can't complain to me. They send me emails. They message me, but they don't know what I'm doing. I'm living my alcoholic life here." And I was taken back by his candor about how much he drank and how much was his motivation to go to a different country where he had no family who would harp on him about getting sober. So I thought that was really quite interesting. Rock the Boat says, in the U.S., military-based liquor stores class, are 10% and sometimes 10 to 30% cheaper than off the base. And this is in every state. Wow. And that's kind of my point is the military, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, to be honest, but I think, I guess if I was in charge of the military, I would do what they do too. But is it the right thing long term? No. But I had an uncle who was in Vietnam, and he told us many a time he would tell some stories about being in Vietnam and about he never drank until he got into Vietnam. And there was just so much alcohol in Vietnam that's what they had to do to deal with being in Vietnam, stationed in Vietnam, was when they're not on patrol, literally just drink, drink, drink. And it was all free. The military provided it for them. And I get maybe there's some military logic to let's keep our soldiers drinking and keep them numb or unaware of what's going on around them. So therefore they can be good soldiers. I don't know. I don't know if that's by design, but I could see it. So I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Am I off base? Am I wrong? I don't know. I could be. I've been wrong once before, and then I realized I wasn't, but that's okay. So I don't know. So yeah, a lot of the guys I know, including myself, while I'm in the Philippines, well, when I go there on vacation, I actually don't drink a very, very little on vacation in the Philippines. When I go on a cruise ship vacation or somewhere else, and I'll have some. But living there truly was nothing better to do. Sit around in the concrete bunker because you got to remember a lot of the places in the Philippines aren't safe to just go wandering around if you're a big fat white guy because you're a big target. So you kind of get to sit around in your concrete bunker, which is your concrete wall surrounded by your house or the condo that you're going to stay in. And I truly recommend that if you're a single foreigner going to the Philippines, a single guy, you should definitely go to a condominium complex. You're going to have a better time. It's going to be safer and easier for you to get around in the Philippines. There'll be more women there for you to date, more food for you to eat, more taxis to get you from point A to point B versus renting a house in a neighborhood. So just keep that in mind. But I absolutely, truly drink way more when I was living there than I ever do anywhere else. So that's from my own point of view, not just what I observed between friends, like the friends that live in the Philippines. And of course, if you guys don't know, a classic case of that is Michael McFarland, and what we jokingly call a Michael McFarland, pulling a Michael McFarland who's, and I don't care if he likes me or not, is just a drunk American who lives there with his girlfriend or wife, and he can't not drink, and he openly admits that. So he drinks so much where he just passes out on his live streams and lets them run for hours while he's snoring, drunk, passed out in his chair. So that's what's pulling a Michael McFarland, is passing out, doing a live stream like this, where you have guests that you're talking to and working with. Dennis, you're absolutely correct. You know, if you don't have healthy hobbies, the fire water will get you. And this is something that I remember Ned from My Philippine Dreams, if you guys follow his channel at all, years and years ago when he was doing his videos long before he got married, and now they got 2 kids. But he talked about that if you don't have healthy hobbies, if you can't find things to do in the Philippines, you're going to become a drunk. You're going to be bored, you're going to drink a lot, and you're going to get yourself into trouble. And I think he's right. You know, and I tried that when we were in the Philippines. The problem was we had a lot of issues. I made so many mistakes going to the Philippines to live that if we ever do it again, I would correct those mistakes, and life would be 10,000 times different and better. So I openly admit that we made mistakes, my wife and I, but I take the blame because I'm in charge. So we made a lot of mistakes going to the Philippines. We did it wrong. It wasn't a mistake to go there. We went there. We just did it the process wrong, incorrectly. Part of the problem was that we got hit by Typhoon Odette, which we didn't expect, and literally had no water, no electricity, and eaten up by mosquitoes, eating canned goods and drinking hot Gatorade for 10 days. Until, like I said earlier, we got to this little hotel that had water and electricity 8 on or 12 on, no, 8 on, and then 4 hours off. I don't know what, I don't remember. It's like 4 something. And then we were able to stay there for a few days. And then we were able to go back to Mactan Island to where the condominiums were out by Shangri-La. And they had one condominium that was up and running. It had its own generator and its own water source. But the water was polluted. So it wasn't drinkable because it had oil in it from the Typhoon Odette. But they did have power, and so you could have at least air conditioning. And after, all those days, and I felt really bad for my wife because, my wife took good care of me, but with my lungs and my health problems, my heart conditions, it was extremely hard on me. And every night, so that I could get a few hours of rest, my wife would stay up and she would take a big piece of cordboard and fan me all night long to keep air moving, because the house we had was a cinder block home, hollow block home with the hollow block walls all the way around it. And there was no fresh air anywhere at that time. I don't know what happened, but it seemed like after the typhoon hit, the air just died. And the house had water all in it and damage. It had no screens on the windows. So we got eaten up by mosquitoes every night. Every night. But Lorelai would stay up and keep air moving on me because it was so miserable for my lungs that I had a hard time breathing every day in that heat, humidity, without any air moving. If we had electricity and we had ceiling fans going or fans going, well, that'd have been all right. We could have survived, but we had no water, very little food, and no electricity whatsoever. And then we went to the condominium, which, remember, we had our dogs, which was a miserable time managing the dogs in a condominium. That was just horrible. So, but we did meet some good people in the Philippines that helped us out. It took us 10 days about 10 days, if I remember right, before we were even able to get a message back to the United States that we were alive. So I had family members here in the United States who feared that we died in the typhoon. They had no clue because the reports they were getting was the largest typhoon in history, a super typhoon, hit Mactan Island dead center, which it did, which is where we were. And that's what they knew. And they talked about the death tolls and the devastation and all of that mess. And so it didn't work out too well for us. But so we stayed in the condominium, I think, for 6 or 7 weeks before we were even able to get back into the original house. So we paid double the rent, of course, condominium rent and the house we rented. So we're paying 2 rents. When we finally got back to the house, we had a rat infestation. We still had limited water. We had partial electricity. So we were experiencing brownouts on a continuous basis as they were trying to get power lines up and running. So, and I got a couple of videos out there on our channel about the typhoon and the aftermaths. But that's kind of what happened to us. And so with my health struggling and having this house all set to go, we came back to the United States. And we still have lands and plans to build some rental properties there. and we'll be going back in a couple of years for a vacation for sure. But we made a lot of it, and someday maybe I'll do a video or a live stream where we can have everybody and we can talk about mistakes that we made. I have to get my thoughts together and kind of put them, in a chronological order on things that we screwed up. That if you want to go live in the Philippines, I would not do this, this, and this again. So there are a lot of things that if we would have done differently, we would still be in the Philippines. Well, I can't say that because of the typhoon Odette. If typhoon never hit us, we would probably still be there. But hindsight, I would definitely, with the next plan to go live there, I would do it much, much different. Much different. Much different. Just, And part of the problem was we had no healthy hobbies. We had no hobbies. My wife was fearful that if I went out by myself, I would have problems. I'd either get sick or I would have health issues and or maybe robbed or attacked. We were worried about wandering off too far the beaten path because, my wife hadn't been there. She hadn't lived there in 7 or 8 years. And one thing I've talked about in some videos is a lot of you guys don't realize this, but if you get married to a Filipina and you bring them to America and they live here for any decent length of time, unless they have a lot of family in the Philippines that lives out in a Providence, a lot of times your Filipino wife is seen as an outsider because they're married to an American citizen or Australian citizen or German citizen. They're seen as an outsider. They're not seen as a local. And my wife experienced this. How she was treated differently than she was when she lived there and grew up there. She was now seen as a foreigner's wife who therefore must have money and resources and is treated much differently. And I don't think she liked that. I think she thought going back to the Philippines was going to be like going home. It was just going to be like how she left it. But as we all know, things shift with time and changes. And I've heard this, from a lot of Filipinas who go back home. Now, they all love to go home for vacation, especially if they got family. But then again, a lot of the ones I know have always been very happy when their vacation is over and they get to come back to the United States. Because usually what happens, from my experience from talking to a lot of them, is one, they spend way more money than they ever thought they were going to being back in the Philippines, because now that they are arriving from another country, they must have a whole lot more money. They're higher up on the food status, and everybody expects handouts. Everybody expects new shoes and new purses, and to be treated out to Mang Inasal for dinner every night and Jollibee. And so the foreigner returning triumphantly, the Filipino returning triumphantly is required in their minds to take care of everybody else, to pay for things. And I know a lot of them have come back broke and pissed off at their family in the Philippines because how they were treated. And so a lot of them get very disappointed in being back in the Philippines. But then you give them a few years and they get all excited about going back for a vacation. So they go save up, they go back for a vacation, they get pissed off, they come back, they're mad at everybody. You give them a few more years and they go back for a vacation. So, which is just the cycle. And I think it works great. And if it makes them happy, I'm more power to them. So we will go back on vacation long before we live there again. So we will go back on vacation. And going on vacation in the Philippines and living in the Philippines is two different worlds. Vacations, as Rock the Boat was saying earlier, vacations are exciting and fun. You're busy, you're busy, you're busy, you're busy. When you live somewhere, you're not. It's the everyday, day-to-day boredom and mundane things that you do. When you're on vacation in the Philippines, you're going to the beach, You're going to this friend's house. You're going on this tour. You're going to the big giant Catholic church. You're going to go see the flowers. You're going to go see the museums. You're going to the mall. You're going shopping. You're going. You're going out and eating at all these cool places. But when you live there, that, my friends, is daily life. And how many times can you go to the mall without poking yourself in the head and going, I can't go to the mall one more time? You know, so living there, vacationing anywhere is two different things. It's like, I love cruise ships. As you guys all know, we love cruises. And I know people live on cruise ships, but I don't think I could ever do that. It would drive me crazy. But going on a cruise ship for vacation is the greatest thing in the world. So keep that in mind. When you go to the Philippines, your vacation is way different than living there. Rock the boat. We appreciate you. Hey, I look forward to seeing those videos on y'all's cruise. We'll be checking out your channel and checking those out. I really want to see how you guys did and what you did, and you know, because we got to plan our cruise. So I'm really looking forward. And hey, I appreciate you for being here today, and we will check you out soon. And Dennis is saying bye-bye to Rock the Boat. They got a good channel, Dennis. So that's just one thing I tell folks. That being on the vacation is way different than living there. But I guess that's like it is anywhere. James says goodbye to Rock the Boat. And James, Lorelai was asking me some questions. Now that you pop back up, I'm going to change gears a little bit. She was telling me that she obviously saw the video where she thinks you're single. Are you single and looking, or are you just single and being you? I couldn't remember because Lorelai would like to find you a Filipino to start corresponding with, or whatever the case is, if you want one and need one. So, oh, Dennis. Oh, my goodness. I have a channel, Rock the Dinghy. All right, Dennis, are you saying that you're going to rock the Yank in the Philippines? He's kind of dingy. You know, is that see where I went with that? You like that? You know where I went with that? So, and James, but anyway, we're curious if anybody, now, one thing I will say, because I can't remember how old you were, James. I thought you were close to my age. But on the live stream the other day, you looked quite a bit younger than me. So I don't know if it's just because you're healthy living or what the situation is, but, you know, you looked nice and healthy in that video, James. So, I mean, Dennis, you know, he's about my age, maybe a little bit. But I am looking for a nice young man to meet my niece. She's 19, very pretty, tall Filipina, tallish for a Filipina. She's in college. So we're looking for a nice young man who would like to meet her. But we also know others, and I believe, and a lot of us married to Filipinos think Filipinos make great wives. So we want everybody to meet a Filipino. I mean, if I had a bunch of single friends, I would be hooking them up left and right, because I think Filipino women make great wives. I think you got to be careful, and that's why you want to get a recommendation from somebody you know already in the community versus a stranger on a dating website. So just keep that in mind. Then it says a Yank is on Firewater Course 100. Getting soon to the doctorate degree. You're right. He's getting there. No, I got to the doctorate degree. Maybe he's going to, you think he'll surpass the McFarland and we'll start calling it, you know, pulling a Yank, you know? So, so I highly recommend. And same with Dennis, because I think Dennis is single now. But James, if we can do anything to facilitate any of that, we are happy to do that. We know a lot of school teachers in the Philippines. We know some nurses. So we know some women that, are on the educational side of things. So we do. We have some resources out there. Then, of course, James, great. So, James, one thing I will tell you is if you ever make it to this part of the country, to Arkansas, if you're ever going to come this way, let me know so we can hook up and we'll have lunch and get together. So James says he is single and looking to mingle with a Filipina. I'm single and looking to mingle with a Filipina. So what are your parameters? Parameters? I can't even talk today. What are you looking for, my friend? Yeah, Dennis is a little leery about Filipinas, which is understandable, Dennis. It really is. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I have mixed feelings about some of this. So I do think there's good and bad in everybody and everything. A lot of times you want to let your Filipina stay Filipino and not become too Americanized. That's something that I think is important. You got to let them truly embrace being a Filipina and that there's nothing with that. Dennis says he got torched. We know. But Dennis, here's my point to this, my friend. If you let somebody help you find the one that won't torch you, I think you'd be happier. Now, if you like the Thai, that's great. If you want to go to South America, that's great. My point is I encourage you to continue the hunt. And if there's anything that we can ever do, we will be happy to do it. James wants in the late 40s. Okay, so, James is in his late 40s. I'm sorry. Someday I can't read. See, I didn't think you were very old. See, I'm in my mid 50s. See, I thought you looked a lot younger than me. So, James, how old of a Filipina are you wanting? And do you have a physical criteria or anything like that? Yeah, Dennis, I know that you missed a lot of red flags or you ignored them. And you're right. It's not the fact that you missed them. You made an adjustment and a justification for those red flags. And we do that. When we're wanting to be in love and we're wanting to have that person, we make adjustments or allowances for red flags. We justify those red flags. We explain them away. We rationalize them. But what we have to do is not do that. And I know you know this, so I'm not going to beat you up about it like the Yank does. You're a smart guy, and I'm telling you, you're good. You're better off than you think you are. You are. And I know you try to see the best in those situations. And I don't blame you. And look, it's tricky to navigate because as Westerners, we want to help the Filipino or the Thailander, whatever it is, who we perceive as coming from a third world country. We have a lot to offer, so we want to give. We don't mind. $20 is not a whole lot of money to us. $100 is not a whole lot of money in comparison to where they live. So I get that. So therefore, it's like, if I lost out, give them 100, whatever. It's not super big deal. And so we rationalize some of that. But it's a godsend. That's correct. You've learned so much, you've grown so much, and now you also know this. That relationship wasn't meant for you, which now has opened you back up to finding the right relationship. As they say, the worst thing you can do than being in a bad relationship is being in a bad relationship or one that just doesn't fulfill you for one day more. And that's where you're at, my friend. And so I think you're at a great opportunity. You just got to be willing to open up a little bit and get to know a bunch of different girls, get to know people and not worry about that relationship and just let a friendship blossom into something. That's what I think. That's right. Thank God for your unanswered prayers. And sometimes we wish for one thing and we hope for one thing, and it's truly not what we need. But you learn a lot from it. I've dated, Lorelai's my first wife, my only wife, first wife, my only wife. And I got married when I was 47. So, but I dated a lot, and I mean a lot, and I mean a lot. Could have got married many times, just didn't seem like the right thing to do. Yes. One day more, Dr. Back. That's right. I try to give good sound advice from realistic expectations because we are human, by the way. And we truly, because this is what I found myself when I was dating Lorelai many thousands of years ago. She never asked me for $1. But as we kind of got serious, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to come to the Philippines over Christmas break because I was teaching college at the time, and the only time I had was summer and Christmas, and we met at the end of summer. So I'm going to come to the Philippines over Christmas break. So we kind of knew where we're going down, or I knew where we were going down the road. So at that time, she was getting ready to go to Jordan to be an OFW. And I actually told her, don't. Let me just give you money every month. And then if this doesn't work out between us, you can go to Jordan after I'm gone. What's it going to hurt to wait 5-6 months? I'll pay for your lodging and send you money to live on. But she never once asked me for a dime. There was a time that I feel really bad about, and a lot of people don't know this, but I would send more like money every month. But I forgot because I got really busy with doing something. I don't know what it was. Or I would send her money every couple of weeks, whatever it was. But I would just got really busy because I did consulting work, I taught, I did all kinds of things. And I forgot to send her money. And she never bothered to say a word to me about it. But we kept talking every day. She just never mentioned it. And I don't know, it must have been about a week or so after I forgot to send money that I'm talking to her, and I can't remember, but it was something like, well, what are you going to have today, for dinner or whatever, just normal, because we talked every day, we FaceTimed every day. I'm just like, well, what are you going to be eating today? She's like, well, all I got left is a couple packs of noodles. I'm going to have noodles. And I'm like, well, why are you having noodles? You're not going to have fish today? She's like, well, I don't have any fish. Well, why don't you have any fish? Well, she's like, because I don't have any money to buy any fish. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any money? And then it dawned on me, ding, 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 ding. Oh, shit. Did I not send you money? No, you didn't. Well, you should have said something. Holy shit. You've been eating noodles for 4 days now. You could have said something. We talk every day. Just, you got to remind me sometimes, So that's when I knew for sure that Lorelai had no designs on my money. So, none whatsoever, because she's, so that worked out well for me in our process. But I think it's worth going through those journeys to find the right person. So I have to encourage you to keep, oh God, James. David, give me that number. I'll take her. International women I have met have more respect than Western men. Filipino culture has always embraced me Well, James, I'm going to tell you a couple things. James, I'm going to tell you a couple things. I think every American who's unhappy with American women ought to marry somebody from an Asian country, because it's just two different worlds. And I can tell you now why I never got married to an American girl was because I could see the writing on the wall that I would be miserable. I didn't want to work for my wife. And I did a video about what's so bad about American women. It's on our YouTube channel with all my other 500 videos talking about why American women suck. So I don't mind saying that they suck. But a lot of American women think we should work for them. The husband should work for them. That there's no 50-50 anymore. It's 100% all about them, and everybody else should revolve around them. That doesn't work. That's not reality. Reality, you got to have good and bad and give and take in a relationship. You have to have that. And I do agree with you, James, and that's why I was, Lorelai's a great partner. I highly encourage, if you were about 10 years younger, I might hook you up with a 19-year-old. But, I don't know. You're kind of young looking, though. And we liked you. So, but wish women are not good. But we can find somebody, James. Maybe we should call me one of these days and we can talk about it, about getting down to details. So, Dennis says, I have design on your money. What? Lorelai has it now. Sorry, Dennis. Lorelai took all the money with her to work. Sorry, man. Yes, 100% is fed up and attitudes are terrible. Yeah, a lot of American women are miserable in their own skins. They're just not happy with who they are, which is sad. It's like nothing can appease them because they're not happy. And I think we can't teach happiness. You can't teach or train yourself to be happy. It's either something you are or something you're not. You can come in and out of the phases of happiness and sadness without question. But here's a rule of thumb I have for you guys out there. One thing that we all talk about with Filipino women and a lot of Asian women is the way they smile tells you that they're a happy person. And look, I'm not a smiler and I'm not a happy, out bubbly person. I'm just not. I'm a dead serious type of human person. I'm just one of those straightforward, very serious person. But for me, I don't want another person like me to be my wife or to date me. I want somebody who's better than me, that's actually happy in life. And Lorelai's that. And over the years, I've been in our local Filipino community since I was 16, 17, because I had a friend who was married to a Filipina that was the same age. She immigrated over. So I've known Filipinos all my life, and they've tried very, 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 very hard to hook me up with their sister, the cousin, the niece, all these different girls. And I never trusted that they were happy people just because they were happy. I always thought they were happy because I was an American. When I met Lorelai, I could tell right away she was just a happy person, and so that adds to it, because we want women that want to be good wives. We want women who want to be good women. We want women that are happy and that enjoy life. Because why the hell would anybody want to marry somebody who's miserable? That just doesn't make sense. And the American women I dated, for the large part, were miserable. The good ones didn't want me. So, All right, so here's what we're going to do. Because my 2 hours is up. One, we're going to keep working on Dennis And James, finding you good women. We're going to keep making fun of a Yank in the Philippines because he's probably passed out again. Even though he wants us to come to his live streams, he can't stay awake for ours. That's okay. I think Ronald had his artery surgery, his leg surgery last Friday, so hopefully he's feeling better. So if you guys see him, check in with him a little bit. And we're going to keep working on this. Some of you guys will probably see Friday morning if I got time to be on the Yanks live stream. We will be back on Wednesday. I got a couple more big videos coming out about visiting the U.S. Marshal Museum down in Fort Smith, Arkansas. That's a long one. It's going to be out next Tuesday night. And then, of course, we'll be back on Wednesday morning. So, but James, Dennis, you guys are welcome to get a hold of me. And we can work out some details about future women or women we know that you might show an interest in. If you're really interested to, because here's Lorelei and I's philosophy. We will introduce you to the women, the girls that we know, and you guys can take it from there. We don't get involved. If you want to Facebook them and be friends and just see how things go, that's great. If it doesn't go anywhere, that's great. If it does, that's great. We let it all go with that. So for now, I'm going to be signing off, but we appreciate you guys. And if you need anything, let us know. James, once again, a big thank you for all the things that you've done for Lorelei and I, and we greatly appreciate that. And one of these days, we're either going to get to California to see you, or we'll meet up in the middle, or you're going to come out here to Arkansas, or whatever it may be. But for now, guys, take care, and we will see you folks next week. Take care, guys.